Hello, good morning. It's Sheridan here. I've decided to do something just a little bit different for you this week. Every day this week at 11 o'clock, I'm going to be coming onto the Facebook group and sharing a little tip for you, a little practical tip. Now, this is something that I do in the VIP group every week without fail. So I think we're up to tip 43 or 44 now, and I'm definitely going to the end of the year with that. But what I wanted to do for you guys was answer some of those questions, some of those recurring nightmares that you did the poll for me. And we did that on Halloween, so some of the challenges that you regularly come up against. This week's a little bit different because I'm going to tackle a biggie, and I'm going to do it over 5 days because there's lots and lots of different answers to this question. And the question is one of the most commonly asked ones: why does it take so long to design training? So I'm going to give you lots of reasons as to why it does take so long, or to why you might think it takes longer than it should. So the first reason is that you vastly underestimate what's involved in training design. For some reason, a lot of people think that it's something that we should be able to do in a couple of hours or a day at most. So you're already setting yourself up with unrealistic expectations, because designing training is very much like peeling an onion. You get one bit done, you think, right, I've sorted that, but then that reveals something else that needs to be designed, and so it goes on and so it goes on. Unless you are planning a very loosely facilitated event, there's so much stuff that you need. And I think one of the reasons that people do underestimate it, and maybe this is one of the reasons that you do, is if you think about the ADDIE model, which you may or may not be familiar with. I'll be honest with you, I was not completely aware of it till about 5 or 6 years ago. ADDIE is commonly used in e-learning design, so any developers out there will know this, and it stands for Analysis, Design, Develop, Implement, Evaluate. And those of us that do face-to-face training, particularly if you only ever design for yourself, will do your analysis and your research, and you'll do your training needs analysis. You'll then develop your ideas, you'll design the top line, and then you go and implement it. And then you get feedback and you tweak it for next time. And what's happened is we've lost this second D, which the developers call develop. I've always called that detailed design, because for me the first D is scoping, it's planning. So just use slightly different terminology. So the difference between the two Ds: the first D is your top level design. So you know what you're going to cover, you know roughly how you're going to do it, you know your route through. So you've got that quite clear in your head, and then you just rely on your knowledge, rely on your experience to go off and deliver it. So this whole detailed development never actually takes place. It's something I've done all my professional career, is design for other people. So I've never not designed something in detail, even if I know I'm going to be the one that's facilitating the session. So what's involved when I talk about these layers of the onion? Well, I always start with a session outline, because that is the top line, scoping. So I know exactly what I'm going to cover, how I'm going to cover it, and I can do a sense check that it's all going to fit and flow. From then, I do a detailed session plan. Those of you who have seen my work before, have known me for a long time, know that for a one-day session, you're probably looking at about 15 pages. So that's how are we actually going to expand each section of that outline. What are the activities we're going to run? What are the key questions we're going to ask in the discussions? What are the key things that we're going to draw out of that session? And we include things like timings, visual aids, physical supporting material if you're in the live environment, or detailed stage directions if you're in the virtual environment. So that's only the first thing, because once you've done that session plan, you have to do everything to support that session plan. So yes, you do still have to create some slides, you have to create some delegate materials, you maybe have to write some case studies or some role plays, put together some quizzes, and all of these things, pre-course work, evaluation forms, it all just adds up. And I think that's perhaps one of the main reasons why people feel that training design takes too long, because they just think, oh, well, when I'm in the training session, I'll just do this. These other things do not magic themselves up. They do have to be designed, and it takes a very long time. And for those of you who are interested, the standard accepted design to delivery ratio, certainly when we were doing face-to-face, was 3 to 1. Now, I'm telling you now, if you're starting from a blank sheet of paper, it will take you longer than that. But in terms of managing your stakeholders' expectations or charging out your time, 3 tends to be the magic number in terms of what's expected. But realistically, you're looking at 4 to 5 days. If you're going to do everything properly, create everything in detail, get it sense checked, get it proofread, and make everything look beautiful. So that is the first reason why training design might take you longer than you expect. And I'll be doing one more reason every day this week. And if you like these tips, come be a VIP member because you get them every week along with lots of other things as well. With that, I will leave you. Have a good Monday.